The world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going. Napoleon Hill. Let that sink in. Because the world doesn't reward confusion. It moves aside for those who move with purpose. And if you're not clear on where you're going, don't be surprised when life pulls you in every direction except forward. We live in an age of noise, an endless barrage of pings, posts, and pointless distractions. And every moment spent scrolling through someone else's life is a moment stolen from building your own. You think you're just passing time. But time is the only thing you can't get back. This is how dreams die, not in fiery explosions, but in quiet moments of hesitation, delay, and distraction. Procrastination is the silent killer of potential. Napoleon Hill saw it coming. He warned that the masses failed because they drift. No purpose, no plan, just motion without meaning. Wake up. You weren't born to be average. You weren't meant to coast through life, numb and disconnected from your calling. You have something inside you, an idea, a gift, a mission, and it's being buried under excuses. Every day you delay is a day you betray the future that's waiting for you. Picture this. Waking up with fire in your chest, knowing exactly what you're chasing, and watching the world step aside, not out of luck, but out of respect. Respect for the person who knows where they're going. So stop chasing likes. Start chasing legacy. True progress begins when we concentrate our mental energy on a single, definite purpose. Without this focus, we're like ships lost at sea, tossed by every wave of triviality. So, let's commit to change, starting right now, by identifying what really matters to you and letting go of the rest. One major reason we don't take action is that we wait for motivation to strike, like it's some magical force. But Hill called this a dangerous delusion, warning that inspiration rarely shows up without effort. We prioritize fleeting emotions over our deeper goals, putting off that passion project because it doesn't feel right today. This leads to lost opportunities, where dreams fade into regrets, and we wonder what could have been. Indecision scatters our energy, making it impossible to zero in on what's truly important. Hill emphasized that procrastination is the enemy of progress, a thief that steals our focus bit by bit. Ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? Without a clear answer, distractions will always win. Fear and uncertainty compound the problem, holding us back from meaningful pursuits. We fear failure so much that we chase irrelevant goals, avoiding the risks that come with our true passions. It's like being a ship without a compass, wandering aimlessly instead of sailing toward your destination. Hill identified fear as a major obstacle, one that diverts our attention from what really matters. The solution lies in taking immediate action, no matter how small, to build momentum and clarity. Hill believed that action is the real measure of intelligence, turning ideas into reality. Even if it's imperfect, that first step tests your ideas and reinforces your focus on core priorities. Think of someone advancing in their career by simply applying for that job today, rather than waiting for the perfect moment. By acting despite uncertainty, you create a ripple effect that propels you forward. Strengthening decisiveness is key. Make firm decisions to keep your energy directed where it belongs. Hill taught that decisiveness is the first step to success, so set a deadline for your choices and stick to it. Practice taking that first step right away. Break your goals into manageable actions to avoid getting overwhelmed. For instance, write down your top 3 priorities for the day and commit to them fully. Overcoming hesitation and fear is essential for maintaining focus on what matters. Hill advised to face your fears head on, because do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. By taking action immediately, you shift your focus from potential failures to real progress. Use techniques like autosuggestion, positive self-talk, to reframe fears as temporary obstacles. Every setback is a lesson, as Hill viewed failure as the seed of equivalent success. A failed attempt isn't an end. It's feedback that sharpens your focus on your true path. Treat each failure as a teacher, guiding you away from distractions and toward what really matters. Building self-discipline is the foundation for sustaining this focus over time. Hill stated that self-discipline begins with mastering your thoughts, not relying on fleeting emotions. Discipline means creating daily routines that eliminate distractions, like setting limits on screen time. Practice positive habits that align with your definite purpose, such as daily goal reviews. Early morning reflections can keep your focus sharp, reminding you of what's truly important. Avoid bad habits like multitasking, which dilute your energy. Replace them with Hill's one task rule. Creating a clear vision and goals is how you fuel ongoing motivation. Hill taught that a goal is a dream with a deadline, providing direction and intrinsic drive. Start by identifying your core values, like family or personal growth, and build specific, measurable goals around them. Break big visions into small, focused steps. Define your ultimate goal, then outline daily actions. Eliminate unrelated tasks to maintain laser focus, visualizing success to sustain your momentum. Imagine achieving that goal and how it aligns with what matters most in your life. A real-life example from Hill's works is Henry Ford, who rose to success by focusing relentlessly on his vision. Despite initial failures and critics, Ford ignored distractions and concentrated on affordable automobiles. His decisive action and persistence on what mattered led to groundbreaking innovations. You can emulate Ford by identifying your own passion project and pursuing it despite obstacles. Let his story inspire you to stay true to your path, turning focus into tangible success. In conclusion, remember that motivation and success follow focused action, as Hill's principles prove. True fulfillment comes from prioritizing your core goals over the noise of daily life. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start today by taking one small, focused step. Define your definite purpose. Eliminate a key distraction, and watch your life begin to transform. Begin now. Focus on what really matters, and embrace the power of Napoleon Hill's timeless wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, distractions pull us away from our true path. But Napoleon Hill reminds us that success begins with clarity. Remember, as Hill said, the world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going. So many people wander through life, chasing shiny objects like endless social media feeds, while their real dreams gather dust. This constant distraction leads to procrastination, where days slip away without progress, echoing Hill's warning that most fail because they don't know what they want. Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone for hours, ignoring that book you meant to write, or that business idea that's been brewing. It's a cycle of regret, where unfulfilled potential weighs heavier each day, just as Hill observed in his studies of successful individuals. But there's a way out. By focusing on your definite chief aim, you cut through the noise and direct your energy where it counts. Hill taught that true progress demands deliberate action, not waiting for the perfect moment or a surge of motivation. Eliminate the wasted effort on trivialities, for as he noted, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, but only with unwavering focus. Now, let's explore why so many hesitate to take that first step and how to break free from those chains. One major barrier is waiting for motivation to strike, a dangerous delusion Hill called out in his writings. You might think, I'll start my project when I feel inspired. But that day rarely comes, leaving your core goals in the shadows. This reliance on fleeting emotions means you're prioritizing temporary highs over what truly matters, like building a lasting career or relationship. For instance, delaying a workout because it doesn't feel right results in missed opportunities for growth and health. Hill would say this is self-sabotage, as indecision scatters your energy like seeds in the wind, never taking root. Indecision is the enemy of progress, as Hill emphasized, making it impossible to zero in on your definite purpose. Without a clear decision, distractions dominate, turning your day into a series of unimportant tasks that lead nowhere. Ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? Hill urged this question to cut through the fog and reclaim your focus. Fear and uncertainty add another layer, creeping in like shadows that divert you from meaningful pursuits. Hill identified fear as a major obstacle in Think and Grow Rich, showing how it makes you chase irrelevant goals instead of your true calling. Imagine a ship lost at sea, tossed by waves of doubt, unable to reach its destination because fear has blurred the compass. But the solution lies in immediate action, which Hill championed as the real measure of intelligence. Taking even a small step creates momentum, clarifying what truly matters and propelling you forward. Think of successful people Hill profiled. They acted despite uncertainty, testing their ideas in the real world. Apply this today. Identify one key goal, like advancing in your career, and act on it right now, rather than letting distractions win. Strengthening decisiveness is crucial, as Hill taught that it's the first step to success. Set a decision deadline for your priorities, ensuring your energy flows toward what matters most, not scattered endeavors. Practice the first step by breaking your goals into manageable actions, building focus and momentum as Hill advised. For example, write down your top 3 priorities for the day and commit to them, eliminating the dilution of lesser tasks. Overcoming hesitation starts with facing fear head on, just as Hill suggested. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Immediate action shifts your focus from potential failures to real progress, dissolving doubts that once seemed insurmountable. Use Hill's technique of autosuggestion. Repeat positive affirmations to reframe fears as temporary obstacles on your path. Learning from failure is essential, as Hill viewed it as the seed of equivalent success, not a roadblock. When you encounter setbacks, see them as feedback that sharpens your focus, like a failed attempt revealing a clearer route to your goals. Treat each failure as a lesson, preventing you from wasting time on pursuits that don't align with what truly matters. Build self-discipline as the foundation for maintaining that focus, for as Hill stated, self-discipline begins with the mastery of thought. Discipline isn't about emotion. It's about daily routines that eliminate distractions, like limiting screen time to prioritize meaningful work. Practice positive habits to support your definite purpose, drawing from Hill's advice on forming success-oriented routines. Start with simple habits, such as daily goal reviews, to keep your focus sharp and aligned with your core values. Avoid bad habits like multitasking, which dilute your efforts. Replace them with Hill-inspired strategies, like the one-task rule. Create a clear vision and goals to fuel your motivation, as Hill taught that a goal is a dream with a deadline. Begin by identifying your core values, such as personal growth or family, and set specific, measurable goals around them. Break your big vision into small, focused steps. First, define your ultimate goal. Second, outline daily actions. Third, cut out unrelated tasks. Use visualization, as Hill recommended. Picture achieving your goal and how it aligns with what matters most, sustaining your drive. For real-life inspiration, look to Henry Ford, who Hill profiled as a master of focus. Ford relentlessly pursued his vision of affordable automobiles, ignoring critics and distractions despite early failures. His decisive action and persistence on what mattered led to groundbreaking success, showing us that emulating this focus can transform our lives. In conclusion, remember Hill's mantra: focus on what really matters, and success will follow, as it has for generations who heeded his wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, distractions pull us away from our true path. But as Napoleon Hill wisely stated, the world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going. Many people struggle with a constant barrage of notifications and trivial tasks that erode their focus, leading to procrastination and unfulfilled dreams. Think about how often you scroll through social media, only to realize hours have slipped away from pursuits that truly matter, like building your career or nurturing relationships. This cycle of distraction stems from not knowing what you want, as Hill observed. Most people go through life as failures because they do not definitely know what they want. Picture a young professional who dreams of starting a business but spends evenings binge watching shows instead of planning their next move. The result is a life of regret, where potential remains untapped due to scattered efforts. Yet, true progress demands a shift. Focus your mental energy on a single, definite purpose, just as Hill advised in Think and Grow Rich. By concentrating on what really matters, you eliminate wasted effort and pave the way for achievement. Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, but only when distractions are cast aside. So, let's break free from this trap and embrace the power of focused action. One major reason you might not take action is the dangerous myth of waiting for motivation to strike, which Hill called a dangerous delusion. This false belief leads you to prioritize fleeting feelings over your core goals, diluting your focus on what truly matters. For instance, you might delay writing that novel because it doesn't feel inspiring today, allowing opportunities to vanish. Such hesitation creates a vicious cycle, where inaction breeds more inaction and regret piles up. Hill warned that relying on emotion alone scatters your energy, preventing you from channeling it toward your definite chief aim. Ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? Without a clear answer, distractions will always win. Indecision is another barrier, as it fragments your efforts and leaves you chasing irrelevant tasks instead of your true priorities. Hill emphasized that procrastination is the enemy of progress, turning potential successes into missed chances. Consider someone who can't decide on a career path, jumping from job to job without committing, ultimately achieving little. To combat this, make firm decisions quickly, as Hill taught to direct your energy where it belongs. Fear and uncertainty further compound the problem, diverting your attention from meaningful pursuits to safe but unfulfilling ones. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill identified fear as a major obstacle, describing how it paralyzes action and scatters focus. Imagine a ship lost at sea, tossed by waves without a compass. That's you when fear dictates your choices. Instead of pursuing your passion, you might stick to a mundane job out of fear of failure, letting your dreams fade. But the solution lies in taking immediate action, no matter how small, to build momentum and reclaim your focus. Hill believed that action is the real measure of intelligence, turning vague ideas into tangible progress. By acting first, you test your goals against reality, clarifying what truly matters and weeding out distractions. For example, if your goal is to advance in your career, start by updating your resume today, rather than waiting for the perfect moment. This initial step creates a ripple effect, drawing you closer to your definite purpose with each decision. Strengthening decisiveness is key. As Hill said, decisiveness is the first step to success, helping you maintain laser focus. Set a decision deadline for your daily tasks, ensuring you prioritize what aligns with your core values over trivial matters. Practice the first step by committing to one manageable action right now, like outlining your goals, to break the cycle of hesitation. Overcoming hesitation and fear requires confronting them head on, as Hill advised. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Immediate action shifts your focus from potential failures to real achievements, dissolving doubts along the way. Use Hill's technique of autosuggestion. Repeat positive affirmations to reframe fears as mere temporary obstacles to your priorities. For instance, if public speaking terrifies you, start with a small presentation to build confidence and stay true to your path. Learning from failure is essential. As Hill noted, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success, sharpening your focus. View setbacks not as roadblocks, but as feedback, like a failed project revealing a better approach to your goals. By treating each failure as a lesson, you prevent wasting time on unimportant pursuits and hone in on what really matters. Build self-discipline as the foundation for sustained focus, for as Hill stated, self-discipline begins with the mastery of thought. Discipline ensures that your actions align with your core goals, not fleeting emotions or distractions. Establish daily routines to eliminate temptations, such as limiting screen time to dedicate hours to meaningful work. Practice positive habits that support your definite purpose, drawing from Hill's advice on forming success-oriented routines. Start with simple habits, like a morning review of your top priorities, to keep your focus sharp and distractions at bay. Avoid bad habits like multitasking, which dilutes your efforts. Instead, adopt the one task rule to channel energy effectively. Create a clear vision and goals to fuel your motivation, as Hill taught that a goal is a dream with a deadline. Begin by identifying your core values, such as personal growth or family, and set specific, measurable goals around them. Break down your ultimate vision into small, focused steps. First define the goal, then outline daily actions, and eliminate unrelated tasks. Use visualization, as per Hill's success formula, to imagine achieving your goal and how it aligns with what matters most. Finally, draw inspiration from real-life examples, like Henry Ford, who focused relentlessly on affordable automobiles despite failures. Ford's persistence on what mattered, innovation and mass production, led to breakthroughs, urging you to emulate this focus in your own life. In the fast-paced world we live in, distractions are everywhere, pulling us away from our true path. Napoleon Hill once said, "The world has the habit of making room for the man whose words and actions show that he knows where he is going." This means that if you don't focus on what really matters, you'll end up wandering aimlessly. Think about how many people spend hours scrolling through social media, chasing likes instead of their dreams. It's a modern trap that Hill warned about, where trivial pursuits steal your energy from your definite chief aim. I've seen friends delay their goals, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. But Hill teaches us that true progress starts with a clear decision to prioritize what truly matters. Without that focus, regret builds up, and potential fades like a forgotten dream. So, let's break free from this cycle and embrace Hill's principle. Concentrate your mental energy on a single purpose. Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, but only if distractions are cast aside. Now, why do so many people fail to take action on what matters most? One major reason is waiting for motivation to strike, which Hill called a dangerous delusion. You might think you need to feel inspired before starting that project or chasing that goal, but in reality, this just leads to procrastination and a scattered focus. For instance, imagine putting off writing your book because it doesn't feel right today. Before you know it, days turn into weeks, and your true aspirations gather dust. Hill would say this is how people lose sight of their core values, chasing fleeting emotions instead. Another barrier is the failure to decide, as Hill emphasized that procrastination is the enemy of progress. Without a clear choice, your energy scatters like leaves in the wind. Ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? If you can't answer, distractions will take over. I once knew someone who jumped from one job to another, never committing, and ended up unfulfilled. Hill's advice is simple. Make a firm decision and stick to it, no matter the doubts. Fear and uncertainty also hold us back, diverting our attention from what really matters. Hill identified fear as a major obstacle in Think and Grow Rich, something that clouds your vision. It's like being a ship without a compass, tossed by waves of doubt and external pressures. You might fear failure so much that you avoid taking the first step toward your goals. But Hill reminds us that facing fear head on is the key to maintaining focus. The solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill believed that action is the real measure of intelligence. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Start small and build momentum. Even a single step can clarify what truly matters, turning vague ideas into real progress. Think of successful people Hill profiled, like those who acted despite uncertainty and achieved greatness. For you, that could mean identifying one key goal, like advancing your career, and acting on it right now. Strengthening decisiveness is crucial, as Hill taught that decisiveness is the first step to success. Set a deadline for your decisions to keep your focus sharp and eliminate hesitation. Practice taking that first step today, breaking your goals into manageable actions. For example, write down your top priority and commit to it, ignoring the pull of lesser tasks. Overcoming hesitation and fear is next, and Hill's method is straightforward. Do the thing you fear. By acting immediately, you shift your focus from potential failures to actual achievements. Use techniques like auto-suggestion, repeating positive affirmations to reframe your fears. Remember, as Hill said, do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. Learning from failure is essential. It's not a roadblock, but a stepping stone. Hill viewed every setback as carrying the seed of an equivalent success. So, if a project fails, see it as feedback that refines your focus on what matters. This mindset keeps you from wasting time on unimportant pursuits and strengthens your resolve. Building self-discipline is the foundation, as Hill stated. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of thought. It's not about waiting for motivation. It's about creating habits that support your core goals. Start with daily routines, like limiting distractions, such as screen time, to prioritize meaningful work. Practice positive habits, such as reviewing your goals each morning to keep your focus aligned. Avoid bad habits like multitasking, which dilute your energy, and replace them with Hill's one-task rule. By doing this, you'll create a clear vision, setting specific goals that fuel your motivation and drive you forward. Hill's formula is to define your ultimate goal, break it into daily steps, and eliminate anything unrelated. Visualize achieving it, imagining how it aligns with what truly matters to sustain your momentum. A real-life example from Hill's book is Henry Ford, who focused relentlessly on affordable automobiles. Despite failures and critics, Ford's decisive action and persistence led to groundbreaking success. You can emulate this by identifying your own passion and pursuing it with laser focus, no matter the obstacles. In conclusion, remember that success follows focused action, as Hill's mantra goes. What you think about, you bring about. True fulfillment comes from prioritizing your core goals over distractions, a principle that's timeless. So, don't delay, take one small, focused step today, like defining your definite purpose. Eliminate a key distraction and watch your life transform, just as Hill promised. Begin now, and focus on what really matters. The results will speak for themselves.